Wow, follow that, Mayor. Woo, okay. Well, good luck to you. And before I forget, we're also joined by School Board Member Ilona Street Stewart. And now for the big moment, the Mayor's inauguration. The oath of office will be administered by District Court Judge Daniel C. Moreno, a friend and colleague of Mayor Coleman when the two served together in the Public Defender's Office in Hennepin County. Joining the Mayor on stage will be his wife Connie and his children Molly and Aiden. Judge Moreno.
I,
Christopher B. Coleman,
Christopher B. Coleman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the constitutions
to support the constitutions
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as mayor
of
the city of St. Paul
of the city of St. Paul
in the state of Minnesota,
in the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and to the best of my judgment.
and to the best of my judgment.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Stand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to start by thanking Judge Moreno for honoring me by coming over from Minneapolis to swear me in today. Many of you may remember that 4 years ago, I had the honor and the privilege of being sworn in by Judge Doris Huspenny, who was a mentor, my first real boss, a role model for me. This year, I decided to have my hunting buddy swear me in. I want to thank Kathy Lantry for her wonderful job emceeing our program. Carol Conley, just an unbelievable job as always. Thank you. Our wonderful musicians from not only Walker West and the Chamber. I'm reminded actually of the old definition of an intellect, someone that could hear the beginning of the 1812 overture without thinking of the Lone Ranger. I want to thank them and for the wonderful music that we're about to hear as soon as I shut up and sit down. To my family, who has stood by me through 4 years of challenges, of long nights and long weekends, thank you. My wife Connie, my daughter Molly, my son Aiden. As I reached to hug Molly, she said, "Oh, geez." To my mother, Bridget, who I owe so much, my wonderful in-laws, Jim and Jan Johnson, all of my family, my brothers, my sister, some who can't be with us here today. I want to thank my incredible staff for the work that they do to not only make this city run, but to put this incredible event together. I stand before you today, unedited, and with a heavy heart at the loss of Deborah Howell. She was a mentor to many of us in this room and in this city and across the country. She will be missed, and I ask you all to please keep her in your thoughts and your prayers. We gathered at Landmark Center 4 years ago, filled with optimism that comes with a new beginning. Though storm clouds were gathering on the horizon, we were confident that we were on the leading edge of change and that we could deflect any ill will that came. In the last 4 years, we have witnessed the near collapse of the international financial system. Mortgage foreclosures have eroded years of work in neighborhoods across the country. Unemployment rose to levels that no city could address. Cities across Minnesota suffered drastic reductions in local government aid and state services. When our most vulnerable needed more support, the city and the state had less to give. And even our most important opportunity, the Central Corridor Light Rail project, faced hundreds of challenges that had to be resolved within complicated federal formulas. That we gather today, again filled with optimism, hope, and determination, is a testament to the strength of our community. Our strength lies in understanding that St. Paul is not an island. We are a city whose destiny is intertwined with the future of our region. St. Paul is an undeniably great city, but part of its greatness lies in the fact that it is part of a vibrant region in a fantastic state. 4 years ago, an unusual event occurred. The mayor of Minneapolis had lunch with the newly elected mayor of the city of St. Paul at DeGidio's. Putting behind us the intercity competition that had consumed so much civic energy, we set our sights squarely to the future and the task of building the foundation for a new prosperity and a new vitality. That new relationship between our cities supported the work of the Itasca Group, the Regional Council of Mayors, the Blue-Green Alliance, the Central Corridors Funding Collaborative, among others. We're bringing together resources around a common understanding that we will rebuild our economy by rebuilding our cities and rebuilding our region. As the Brookings Institute stated, we are a nation of metropolitan areas. The health of our national economy is dependent upon the vitality of these areas. But too often we see the competition as a neighboring region or even another city within that region. We must stop fighting each other and position ourselves to face global competition. St. Paul can no longer compete against Bloomington or Minneapolis. Our future depends on the ability of the Twin Cities to compete with Shanghai or Stuttgart, Seoul or Sao Paulo. Our region's response to this challenge will not emerge from a consultant's report or a legislative commission. It will be built piece by people and organizations that look beyond a narrow definition of self-interest and see truth in Paul Wellstone's familiar refrain that we all do better when we all do better. It's being created by labor unions offering opportunities to new generations of workers, many of them unfamiliar with the trades. It's being shaped by churches that provide tutors for neighborhood schools and entrepreneurs with big ideas. It's being fortified by business leaders that see downtown not as a sea of parking challenges, but rather as an ocean of opportunity to attract world-class employees to a creative and exciting environment. It's being supported by the Citizens League and the Humphrey Institute, and all those willing to take on the task of understanding the toughest issues and proposing a way forward. For St. Paul to reach its highest potential, we must vow to work across this region with all organizations and all communities to get there. Let us be partners, not competitors. Because as a region, we will build the Central Corridor and provide a critical component of a transportation network. As a region, we will bring high-speed rail to our community that will link us to other cities across the Midwest. As a region, we will work to clean up polluted lands and brownfields and provide new opportunities for businesses to grow and prosper. And as a region, we will foster research and innovation that will lay groundwork for the next 3M, Medtronic, or General Mills. In recognizing the need for regional cooperation, we will not waver in our determination to fight for St. Paul. It begins, as always, with education. A well-educated workforce is vital to attracting, retaining, and expanding businesses in St. Paul. We're fortunate to have a wealth of college presidents, corporate executives, and church leaders that recognize this fact. Our partners in higher ed, business, and nonprofits training programs are developing fine-grained models that match people with opportunities designed for specific jobs. 4 years ago, people were skeptical, even suspicious, when we spoke of the city's role in education. But we have now broken jurisdictional boundaries and formed a strong partnership with all educational partners. With our new superintendent, Valeria Silva, we'll continue to work together to demonstrate how cities and school districts can share the responsibility of providing high-quality learning opportunities for all children. Education includes our adult workforce, making sure that each person has the necessary skills to find a new job, whether it's as a medical coder, an engineer, an energy auditor, say that 3 times fast, or a building deconstructor. We see the renewed hope that education brings in the eyes of our recent graduates from the Emergency Medical Academy. One graduate, a pregnant mother of a small child, who came first to the academy from a shelter for battered women, said as she addressed her class and her very proud family, "I never imagined standing here today. In fact, it was sometimes hard to imagine that I would be alive today." Education gave her hope for herself and for her children. We must provide that hope and opportunity to all of our families in this community. The hard work that we have done in St. Paul to get our financial house in order has not been easy these past 4 years. We've made tough decisions, put our budget in structural balance, and honestly responded to the challenges before us. This work has paid off. While other cities have cut critical services, we have added police officers and firefighters. We have maintained a first-class library system and reshaped our Parks and Recreation Department to better serve the needs of all residents. While more problems lie ahead as the state grapples with its enormous deficit, we will continue our commitment to sound fiscal policy and honest budgeting. We will not leave future generations with today's problems. Today we talk about the beginning of the construction of the Central Corridor, not in terms of years or decades, but rather in terms of months. But in many ways, the downtown into which the train will arrive is already very different and continues to change before our eyes. New vitality brought by a host of new restaurants has put to rest the notion that St. Paul is dead after business hours. The town comes alive at night with the sounds of jazz in Mears Park or heavy metal from Station 4. The depot itself is about to undergo an extensive renovation because of the partnership of Ramsey County, our congressional delegation, our partners at Mortenson. This building will soon serve as the epicenter of our regional transportation network. This vibrancy has compelled companies like Cray, Microsoft and Gov Delivery to call downtown home. They will soon be joined by even more employers that see the full potential of St. Paul. There's much to be proud of over these last 4 years, but I'm not here to brag or to boast, or even to make excuses for the tough decisions that have been made. I'm here to say thank you to my family, to my friends, my partners and colleagues, and mostly to the people of St. Paul for this opportunity bestowed upon me once again. The white pine is our state tree, but in many ways it's the appropriate symbol of the work that we have done in St. Paul these last 4 years. Having sat out the Ice Age in North Carolina, the white pine migrated to Minnesota as the glacier receded and is now emblematic of our state and its history. It is known for being able to establish itself in lousy soil and then live for 400 years, providing places for bald eagles to rest and resin to fill the seams of birch bark canoes. It survives fire and all manner of weather. Indeed, its tolerance for wind gives it the asymmetrical look so vivid in our images of the North Shore or the Boundary Waters. The pine tree can withstand wind because for the first 10 to 20 years, most of its growth is happening below ground. It doesn't depend on a single taproot, but rather a deep and wide-spreading root structure that allows it to grow to be 80 to 100 feet tall. Once its roots are established, it can grow up to 16 inches a year. So it is with St. Paul. We've come through a storm and are feeling a little windblown, but our root system is strong and growing. Today, it's extending beyond our borders to a region rich with opportunity. Each of you is a part of that root system that secures us against the wind and allows us to grow, as are the students working late in the lab or doing their homework tonight, and the thousands of entrepreneurs balancing their books at the end of the day, and the hundreds of city employees who gave up their holidays to patrol or plow our streets, and the children born today, who, when she graduates from college and starts work in the industry we can only barely imagine, will measure the success of our efforts. There is work yet to do, but our future, a regional future, is firmly rooted, and we're poised to grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And actually, Mayor, you did compete with the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. That was wonderful. So thank you to everyone today for coming. The next 4 years, of course, present some great opportunities and challenges for the city of St. Paul, and it all starts today. Everyone is invited to stay and enjoy the concert with the Honey Dogs, as well as, like the main attraction, a great selection of Minnesota beers. So please join us for food and drinks in the back of the room while they clear out the front of the chairs, and we'll be taken out with music from Walker West students again. Thank you very much.